And we're live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Watch Talk with the Punters. Blue Shirt, Thomas Burnett, and
Hi
NS
there.
Something have joined us.
everyone.
And we have Clive the Watch Wrangler, a.k.a. the Rancher, joining us as well.
Howdy.
Just want to say hello to everybody out there in the chat. Orange Hand, our good longtime friend Howdy from Texas, our other longtime good friend Junior Johnson, Mason One, Maynard Joseph. Who else do we have in here? Sorry, I just closed the chat. Abdul from Abdul R Watches. He was here. Still is. EP, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah, great to see you all as always.
Yep. Hi, everyone.
So, you want to kick us off with the news, NS?
Sure. Let me share a screen. There wasn't that much news, to be honest, this week. Well, there was some news, but it's very boring, at least to me. So there were a few, and I'll go over them like extremely quickly. There were a few uneventful product launches, mostly just special editions or new dials, like this Seiko Presage 140th anniversary. So for 140th anniversary, they got a watch with like a brown dial, like woo, yay. And then Bulgari came out with a new dial on their stainless steel Octo Finissimo. So a very nice watch. And this, I guess, is the unreadable edition.
Right.
And
you know what it's lacking?
Contrast.
Yes. That one's for you, Klein. And then Hublot came out with the same watch that they've made many times, but this is the $30,000 version of it. I mean, it looks nice.
It's the classic fusion. It's the first time they've incorporated the Unico movement in the classic fusion, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it would have been nice to see that in a normal fusion, right? I get that they probably want to make it in like a really special, expensive one at first. But it's a lot of money for what it is in the end, I think. And Zenith, with all that success of that blueprint one, I guess, decided to come out with another dial that's
I really like this Zenith Pilot's watch. It's the first time they've ever used a silvered case on the Pilot's watch, isn't it? It's well, not on the Pilot's watch, but as a chronograph with the Pilot's watch. Using a silver case. It's 925, which means it's 90.25% silver or something, or.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, right? Like a lot of other, like Stova have done it, right? A lot of watchmakers have done the classic Pilot in silver. I just think Zenith has done such nice dials, I find, with the Pilot watch. And I find this one, it's not going to be that readable. No. It's a little bit weird with the faux. Like,
me.
Go ahead.
It's because it doesn't have contrast.
Yes, you've heard it.
Yeah, that's the blueprint version. I think that was a cool idea, but I don't know, it's hard for me to read. So
yeah, this dial's got a stamped pan, which is a randomly brushed finished.
But
brushed sort of.
Yeah, but this dial, the colors, it's okay, right? What I don't like is like the faux rivet type of, faux aluminum panel.
Where have we seen that before?
The blue version. Yeah, it's it's like it would be a nice watch, right? Nice silver watch. It's a cool edition. I think they maybe went a little bit overboard on the dial. So it makes it less of a classic, let's say.
Yeah, did they really have to mess with the OG, the original, the Type 20? It's such a classic pilot's watch. I don't think they needed to. I mean, I guess that they always want to try and sell more, so they're going to try and do something. But I don't know. These just seem to be very uninspired new additions, in my opinion.
Their classic with a silver case would have been cool, right? Even with if it's a chronograph, I think it would have been cool. I think they just went a little bit too far with
the
this
dial.
one. Yeah.
It's meant to look like a aircraft.
Yeah, like a fuselage. Yeah. But it's it's here's the thing. For a watch this price, it's a little bit weird to have like a gimmicky dial, right? You'd expect that from a fashion watch or something that you're going to buy and stop wearing once you're tired of it. But it's a proper Zenith pilot's watch. You'd like it to be a little bit more timeless, maybe.
Right.
Well,
yeah, maybe.
It almost looks like something like I said, out of an aircraft. I wonder if they had something similar, like out of Malaysian Air Flight 370. What, too soon?
I don't know. I'll let you make those jokes. Yeah, no, go ahead, Thomas.
I was just going to say, I thought the Hublot was quite an interesting one, actually, because the Takashi Murakami, who is the artist that they've collaborated with, is well known for his artworks, very colourful artworks, and they've opted for an all black collaboration with which they say is possibly the first collaboration that they could do, and there's a set with 456 black diamonds in the petals, which are actually a single disc set on ball bearings. Weighted up. They're weighted only on one edge, allowing it to spin with the motion of the wrist. And JLC used a similar mechanism on their Master Twinkling Diamonds model. I don't know whether you're aware of that. Are you?
Yeah, I've seen that one. Look, it's a nice concept, right? I think it's. I don't want to sound harsh about Hublot, but they've done such like crazy cases.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, masters of it, aren't they?
Yeah, I find it's like they just put something in their regular, normal fusion watch, right? Maybe that's what leaves me uninspired about this one.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's $27,000.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
And I think you could make the case that a lot of LVMH watches, they look similar. I don't know whether they're doing that on purpose, but I don't know.
You haven't seen my El Primero.
Yeah. It's. Yeah, I don't know if it's the whole monochrome aspect of this one, but it almost looks like what they were trying to do. That's a special edition. Is kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like lost in whatever they were trying to do. I mean, it's nice, but they could have maybe done it better, I think.
Yeah. What did you think to the Octofinissimo then? Did you think that was a bit of a measly effort by them?
No, look, I'm not. The only reason why I'm not that impressed with this one is that this is just like it's just a new dial in something that they've already released, right?
Sure.
I think it's because it's sorry,
it's a Black Bay 58.
Yeah,
in a different color.
Well, but I don't think like Bulgari's trying to make this like a big, new release, right? I think it just is because this week there's almost no news. Otherwise, it's something nobody would be talking about, right? I think when this watch, the stainless steel one, came out, it was a big release because it was their Octofinissimo, still thin but in steel, and it has more it's more waterproof, right? So it was really like a proper sports watch. But this one is just a new dial, right?
Well, what I like about this watch is it has the potential of bringing people together. Because if you buy it, you'll be having to ask, "Excuse me, sir, what time is it?"
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's costing $12,000, so it's an expensive watch, isn't it?
It is.
And they have come out with lots of different colors, haven't they? They've done the blue dials and the. I mean, they've had quite a few different iterations so far. I mean, they've had the titanium ones and steel ones, and
well, I mean, look at this picture, right? The one in the center is the steel one,
Right.
I personally, I think it looks better, right? It's readable.
I agree.
The dial is just as nice. It's not brushed, but it's nice. The titanium also looks very good. Even the gold one is good if you want a full gold bracelet type of watch. They make nice watches. I just don't think the newest one is maybe the nicest looking.
Yeah, going back to the Seiko Presage, I mean, it's the 140th anniversary of Seiko this year, isn't it? 2021. And, they did release a lot of Grand Seiko for the 160th anniversary. They released a lot of watches. They're doing this one, which is inspired by the Dawn in Tokyo, they say, the dial, which explains the gold highlights on it. And it's an all black case, which is the first time they've done it in the Presage range. The Presage series, bringing it a more budget price. And this dial is it's quite a nice style for the Presage range, for them to do a more budget price, which is coming in at about $1,000, just over $1,000, I think.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, well, like I've got like an old Omega. Oh, what the hell is it? Well, the one with the integrated bracelet, Cosmic, with the brown dial, and I know it's gold, but it's maybe bronze hands and indices, and I actually think that is one hell of a color combination.
Yeah, with this brown and gold. I mean, it's called the subline is called the Sharp Edge series, and it's a motif known as Asanoho, which translates as hemp leaf.
Oh, I thought it translated to contrast.
So it's a geometric pattern found on clothing that shimmers in light thanks to its textured surface, and it's an interesting one. I think it's a pattern that you would associate with Grand Seiko much more than Seiko, I think. And coming in at that budget price, I think it's a quite good accessible price point, I think.
Yeah, they've done that recently for a few years now with the Presage, right? With having nicer dials. They had the enamel dial that was nice. I mean, it's a nice watch, but I think they do a lot of that in that series.
Yeah, I agree. And it shows that Seiko is trying. They're trying some new things. I know they're trying to raise the brand in general up a little market, but this is still accessible. The dial is very interesting. They kept the classic, Seiko hands and the markers. It's interesting. It's an interesting look from them, and I tip my hat to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's also probably a nice stamp dial, and it's not a $25,000 pad.
Right.
So that's that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more bit of news that I put in the private chat was the new Garrick.
Yeah.
watch.
I have it queued up.
Oh, sorry, Ernest.
Yeah, we're gonna get to it. But before we get to that, I thought well, a week and a half ago, I guess, Richemont came out with pretty good financial numbers for Q1. But a lot of numbers are out for 2020 right now, and I think the headline "A Year to Forget" is pretty good. It turns out that year over year, last year, exports, at least for Swiss watchmakers, were down 33%. So now we have the numbers for 2020, and we have a nice little graph that shows how how bad
Things
it
got.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, terrible.
You get some lessons from the Chinese because, as we know, they're pretty good about exporting stuff. I mean, really good at exporting stuff.
Yeah, the problem is, I think last year nobody was buying anything, so that didn't help that much. But I think at least for Q1 for this year, obviously we're not done with Q1, but a lot of companies are nearing their Q1 for their own financial years. So it's encouraging, right? So, but this graph, what's interesting is that throughout the year, people were saying, "Oh, things are getting better, things are getting better," but it shows that all through December and even the holiday period, you see a small dip in the holiday period. So that's very telling.
I don't know whether you had this in your news, and I didn't pull it up, but I'm pretty sure I saw this, that there are definitive dates now for Watches and Wonders in 2021, and that they do, or is it 2022, and that they do plan on going ahead with the show, and brands are guaranteeing that they're going to be there. Did you see that?
Yes. So they did confirm that there's going to be a part of it that's virtual, and they did confirm that there's going to be one in Shanghai, I think. But yeah, so they were still a little bit vague on the details, but yeah, it's going forward. What's going to be interesting is to see if we finally see that big merged show, right, with Rolex and everything else. So that'll be interesting. So definitely more to come on that.
Yeah, I think I read that Rolex agreed to be there. They were one of the brands that agreed to be there.
Yeah.
Well, it should be relatively safe for them because all they have to do is just put several rows of empty showcases between them and the audience.
Yes. Well, no, actually, they're the one or two watches that they do make. They're probably going to bring, right? Because if they don't bring them to the show, then they have to send them to the boutiques. Then
God forbid they do that.
Yeah. And so the last piece of news is the Garrick, which is kind of it's. I think this was the most interesting piece of news of the week. It's kind of a mixed bag. We talked about Garrick maybe 3 months ago or something when we talked about English.
Didn't we? Yeah.
About English watchmakers. And Garrick is their kind of claim to fame is that they do have movements made by Andreas Stretler, right? He makes his own watches, but his big thing is designing really, really high-end watch movements for other makers. And Garrick is interesting because they have some very high-end watches with those movements that cost a lot of money, and then they have some very I don't want to say uninspired, but low-end watches with like ETA base movements. And they announced the S4, which is kind of like an in-between watch where the movement is based on a 6498. Nothing crazy special, but they do have handmade dial and hands and some hand finishing on a little plaque on the movement. So it's kind of like a mix of the two, but at a price that's like in the $5,000 range, depending on the options you take. So I thought it was like very interesting. It's almost like a type of almost close to a Kadoki, I'd say, at lower end, of course, but also lower priced. And if we look on their website, they even have a blue dial that you can get with full engine turned, engine turned subdials, and they have a version that is just the second style is engine turned, and it's a little bit less expensive. They have it in steel, they have it in gold, and I thought it was interesting, an interesting release. And the movement, as I said, is not. It's a 6498, right? The finishing it on the movement itself is not crazy, but it has a nice little, I guess you can call it a plaque over the 3/4 plate, or however you want to call it, with some engraving. So it's like a kind of a mix, and it's
A mixed bag.
affordable.
I kind of like it.
Well,
I really like it. I mean, it's taking inspiration from pocket watches, isn't it? I mean, Garrick.
I love the Tuxedo dial.
I mean, the gear shading on the sub-seconds, on the centiseconds is one option, as you say, NS, and they also do gear share on the main dial, don't they?
Yep.
And
I think Claude was saying he likes
those hands which have the anchor sort of logo on the ends of them. They're lovely.
And Clyde, you were saying you like this dial? Is that?
Yes, I do.
So do I.
I actually have a few watches with 6498s, and they may not have the longest power reserve, but they all been really, really greatly accurate, like within 3 seconds a day.
Yeah, I think it's this is interesting because this is kind of a market that is exploited a lot with German watchmakers, right? Dornbluth, Cornell. There's a lot of watches like these, but this is an English watchmaker. It's really nicely done, I think. Sure, the finishing on the dial is not like, it's not a Carry-Linen, but you're not paying $50,000 either. I think they found, to me, part of the reason why this was very interesting for this week is they found a sweet spot between what the watch actually has, what it has to offer, and the price, right? It's not just another $10,000 watch that you look at and say, that's a lot of money for what it is. This, I think, is priced fairly for what it is, I think.
What is the price?
They're
going for £4,995 with the Guilloche subdial, or £5,995 with the full Guilloche dial.
Yep.
And they're not limited editions either. I mean, Garrick have been going since 2014, and they're based in Norfolk, England, and their top of the range pieces go for £29,000. So this is with this Unitas 6498, it's base. It's a very good buy for them.
What are Garrick's background skills? Is it designing watches, or does he have experience as a watchmaker?
As a watchmaker, I believe.
Yeah, they're a watchmaker, but the higher end stuff. Let me bring some up. I forget which one is the.
Oh yeah, you did mention that. I was going to say an obvious analogy would be between Stephen Kadoki, because he got to start by heavily, but yet you could say masterfully, putting a lot of decoration into ETA movements.
Yep. Look, I would say that definitely, even the higher end stuff, I think Kadoki is really known for his amazing finishing, right? So I think even the high end of Garrick, I don't think is finished at the level of Kadoki. But the very, very high end movements that Garrick has are probably better movements than the Kadoki, right? Because this is like an Andreas Stretler movement, which is it's kind of like a level above what Kadoki does.
Would you put them in the same boat as like Ophion?
I would say that the S4, yes, but like the S2, like this is a
Mhm.
much higher range. So
Much higher level.
yeah,
Okay.
they're weird. Well, I don't want to say they're a weird company. They go from low end to
Mhm.
very high end.
Okay.
Is what I would describe. And their prices are kind of fair, right? If you look at, like, let's say this watch, I think with the level of finishing, which is not, again, not super amazing, but it's pretty good, and you have a nice movement. I think their prices in general are fair. But the big thing about the S4 is that you get a watch that's, I don't want to say affordable, right? It's still a $5,000-$6,000 watch,
Mhm.
but relatively affordable.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
I
lovely.
like them, and I really I have to do some more investigating on this brand. Very compelling, very interesting.
And that's the news, I think, for this week.
Okay. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you very kindly. I just want to welcome some people that have jumped in. We got Mark P, Hands, Knees, and Toes, Chaz from the Berg, our friend ID Guy, welcome. And a very warm welcome to Megan Arthur. Hi, Megan. Hope all is well.
Just like
And
to say
so,
hello to Watches and Wonders as well.
Mhm.
Hello there, Ben.
Fries with Mayo, Forbin Colossus, Logan Hall. Good to see you, another longtime friend of all of us. Good to see everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to do now shift over to our question that we posted a couple of weeks ago. You have $30,000 US. You can buy 4 new watches. What do you buy? But no Rolex and no Omega.
Well, that's good because if the choices we made like 4 weeks ago, we wouldn't be able to afford them now.
I'm going to start off with the ranchers, but before we even do that, Fries with Mayo just put his in the chat up here, and I thought maybe we could talk about that. So we got a Hoya Artavia, a Patek 6007.
I'll bring these up next week, I think, Fries with Mayo. Yeah, I'll bring them up so we can see them, but we'll go over them now. Certainly, we'll go over them now.
But those wouldn't be 30,000 for new watches, right?
Yeah, we're going for new watches if
Right.
possible.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Well, okay. How the hell is he going to buy a new Hoyer Octavia?
Yeah. And I think a Patek 6007 is probably around 30,000 new, right? But if we can talk about his selection, right, quickly, because
Yeah, sure, let's go for it.
we weren't crazy specific about the rules, but
No, we weren't.
if we can talk about it for a second, it's actually an interesting set of choices
Very
because
much so.
most of the 30,000 would be spent on the Patek 6007, which is a good way to go because you'd put all your money on the watch that you'll actually baby, right? And that's it's a nice dress watch. Then the System 51, it's really cheap, but it's nice watch. Tons of variations. The Oyer would be a nice vintage watch, and then a chronograph.
Any Type 20 works for me. Be it Zenith or Breguet or Dodon. So
yeah, would be a
excellent choices.
cool collection.
Okay, so we'll hide that, and I'm also going to post the link in the chat if somebody wants to join us.
Yeah, especially since the ID guy has been kind of taking it easy this weekend.
Well, he's still recovering from his mega marathon stream last weekend.
He's been working hard on his videos, yeah.
So all right, let's pull up the ranchers. Here we go. Okay. So we got the Gallet. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, it's a Gallet.
It's 40.7 millimeters diameter, 100 meters water resistant.
Okay. Well, and I was talking about this on the live stream when in between, like pimp slapping trolls. But and keep in mind, a Gallet. You know how long the Gallet family has been making watches and clocks?
1466.
Something since the reign of Edward IV, the father of the Princess in the Tower, the brother of Richard III. And actually, I think they're known more for their vintage pieces. I think there was literally like an 18-month gap. But so, I'm willing to overlook that. And for that one, it's just for heritage alone, this thing beats all comers, period.
Yeah, it's really nice. I think it's a classic looking chronograph.
Now they also have another one, Blue Dial, the Jim Clark, but they've also kind of reached back into their top 10 list and updated. But I kind of like, just give me a good old fashioned black dial. Hashtag black dials matter. And I like I said, and of course I love the typeface where the 10, the 2, the 8, and the 4 cut off by the
the subdials.
Yeah.
This is interesting that they put this in their on their website. At the very bottom here, it says true heirloom quality timepiece built to run accurately for over 100 years. You don't see people putting that out there.
No. Though you probably should, though, don't be an idiot. Have it serviced like after 60 or 70 years. I mean,
so I thought this was a very very interesting choice.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a nice chronograph, but I do agree with you, Clyde. I really like the numerals cut off like that. That's really cool.
All right, we'll go to the next one. And this is a beautiful watch too.
Guadalil, and I think it was just discontinued. Damn it! So again, it probably it's like it would. I'd be lucky to get. I would probably be lucky to get this one in the Gallet.
It's a beautiful watch.
Beautiful watch. I love
really,
it.
It really is stunning.
Of course, it has the same movement as the Overseas, but of course, it doesn't have the quick exchange straps, which would be nice. But my Gallet would be the sports in the 3-piece collection. The Gallet would be the sports watch, and this would be the dress or office watch.
Yeah, the Quai de Lille is also one of my favorites. It has the case is really nice. The lugs are really nice. The dial, the movement. But one of the things that a lot of people don't know about this watch is that it also has amazing loom.
Really?
Yeah. If you ever
I did not know that.
Yeah, if you look at a loom shot of that watch, it's truly amazing. It's really, really nice watch.
And I see that it is a Geneva seal. Very nice.
Now, how do they get seals up in the Geneva? Do they have like mountain lakes or whatever? Or
they take them out of the zoo and they bring them over to the factory.
Okay. All right. Hopefully they're ethically treated.
But truly a beautiful watch, one that I've admired for a long time. Sorry to hear that it was. You say it was discontinued?
I think it was literally just discontinued like a week or two ago.
All right, so maybe down the road bargains can be had.
That is a very positive way to look at that. I kind of think people are going to get screwed. But okay. I'm going to go, be positive like you. I
know Bill Sanders. He was when he got his overseas, he was toying with the idea of this one because he liked it a lot. It's really it's a well executed, classic, yet stylish looking Vacheron Constantin.
Of course,
if you want, I posted in the chat. Thomas posted one link after, but it's the one before last actual link to a loom shot.
Oh, okay. Let me take a look here. So the second to last one,
Yep.
the one you posted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So let's go in here. We're gonna stop. Wow! Look at that.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Clearly tell the date. You can clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. And NS, you were not kidding.
Contrast.
Yes.
Even the date wheel and the little arrow is lit up. Wow.
Yep.
No, it's a really, it's one of those hidden gems. And yeah, if people are on the fence, if it did get discontinued, I think it's something people should jump on. It's kind of like the Vacheron Constantin, also the Royal Eagle, where there were tons of deals.
Yep.
And now there aren't. And it's one of those watches that a very some infamous watch YouTuber once told one of his viewers not to buy a Royal Eagle for like 2,000 Australian dollars, and that was a great move. I think it's probably he made that video the same week that he told people not to buy a Chronomètre Bleu for like $10,000. But whatever. Water under a bridge.
Yeah, moving right along.
Yes.
5 identical Pateks.
Okay, so now we'll go to Clyde's next one.
Important news. I have bought both Milgauss Blue and Explorer 2 42 millimeter. I'm going to sell one of my Pateks, probably 5196. I passed on the VC. Okay. Actually, who is this? I think I know who it is. I'm going to ask. Marcus?
I don't know. What are we talking about, Clyde? I'm sorry.
I just received a text just now.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay, wait. I thought I had that blocked. All right.
Oris Aquas, you want to tell us about it?
The Oris Aquas, yeah. Kind of a nice in-betweener. I think it kind of almost bridges the gap between sports and I think it'd make a good, decent office watch.
Mm-hmm.
This is also, yeah, I'm probably being suckered in with all the news from the new movement. But literally, the service interval, yeah, I'd be willing to look at I would be willing to look at the Oris Aquas, but I don't know if I would necessarily. Oh,
yeah, it's a nice watch. I have to say this Oris is one of those watches that makes you think about some cheap. I don't want to say no name brands, but some of those watches from more obscure brands. You get here with the Oris, you get a watch with a good movement, good price. You're going to get a crazy discount at the store.
No,
it's great value proposition.
And I'm almost tempted again. Lately my biggest horological. Well, I want to say hard on, but I'll think of a classier way to put it later. Like you said, has been the Glasschutte Pano Reserve version 2 blue dial on the steel bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
And I was almost tempted to pull out the VC and put that one in. But then I saw the VC again, and like, oh no, I can't. Nope. That would be another strong contender.
Mhm.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, and we got one more. The Longines Hydro Conquest.
Is this still me?
That's still you.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That was your fourth.
I don't remember. Okay. I seriously don't remember. Okay. Wow. Oh. Yeah, because I was kind of getting tired time at that point. Time constraints, because I thought it was gonna be another possibility would be a Tissot Heritage Military.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love the blue dial on this watch.
Yes, nice blue dial, that one.
Blah.
Yeah, they're nice choices.
Well, I feel the most strongly about the Gallet.
Yeah, Gallet is nice.
So right off the bat, I see you ended up putting a lot of sports watches in your choices, but I thought it was very nicely balanced by the Quai de Lille. So I think it's
Thank you.
Nice choices.
But if you look at the number, on the other hand, most of the value, most of the money went toward the VC.
Well,
Yes,
I don't.
fair enough.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right?
Mhm. Yeah, me neither.
It's 4 watches. I mean, what are you going to do at some point? I think if you wanted to have 4 high value watches, we'd have to talk about $60,000-$70,000. So I think it's good. Plus, you on some level you want to have a watch that you can knock around a little bit too.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, you can't have all nice watches, can you? I mean, you got to, if you want a nice watch, you got to budget for a cheaper watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. In this case, I actually think for the price, the Longines is great for a cheaper watch, or the Tissot Heritage Military, even cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is $1,600, right? You're going to get a discount.
Again, the rules were a little unclear.
No, but look, you're going to get a discount. It's a great watch for that price. You can get some. You can get some. I don't want to say anything bad, right? But you can get some pretty, some watches with really crappy movements and that won't have a warranty, that the company's going to disappear 2 years later for that price. This is a good watch.
Very good watch. Very good watch. And I just want to interrupt here for a second. Our friend Junior Johnson saying his family has COVID, so
Hope
speedy
everyone gets
recovery.
well soon.
Speedy recovery to everybody, Junior, and our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family.
Yeah, Junior. Absolutely.
Okay, so moving right along.
Move on to the first of the punters. I think we've got Logan Hall coming up first.
Okay, let me zip back up here. Thomas is the first one you posted?
Yeah, he said this was a really tough one, but he's happy with his choices eventually, and he thinks he got all bases covered.
All right, so let's go here.
So we go to his first piece, which is his high horology dress watch, he said, which was the A. Lanzana 1815.
A beautiful watch. Excellent choice, Logan. Excellent choice. Yeah, I love this watch.
Really nice watch. So he said this came in at $13,000 around and about.
Yeah, 12.5 it said here when it was available.
Yeah. So again, as we all can agree, beautiful watch. I think this one's in rose gold. I think Yeah, gorgeous watch.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Classic.
very nice. If you have trouble finding this one, there's also the Saxonia thin that's a little bit smaller, or the normal three-hander Saxonia. They're usually available around those prices or even less.
But a really, really nice watch.
Yep.
Mhm. Yep.
Really nice.
Can't argue with you on that one. That would be one of my choices. And it wouldn't matter to me. I would take it in rose gold and white gold and yellow gold. Just a classic dress watch. Oh,
Yeah,
stunning.
gorgeous.
Well, as we know, yellow gold is more popular in. Never mind.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll skip on to his next choice, which is a GMT. It's a GMT watch, this one. It's coming in by the brand Grand Seiko.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Really nice watch. It's the SBGE 255. This comes in at around $6,000
Mm-hmm.
with the blue dial. It's a really nice GMT, this one.
I'd have to say that really is a nice looking watch.
Pops.
Yeah, very nice bezel.
What kind of movement?
Caliber 9R66. Spring drive.
Yeah, spring drive. So that's what you really bang into with Grand Seiko, is their quality spring drive movement, I think.
You really can't argue with, and as everybody knows, I'm not the biggest Grand Seiko fan, but this is a nice looking watch.
Well,
It really
I'm not.
is.
I don't know how much I'm willing to trust the spring drive, but on the other hand, if someone said, "Here's a snowflake,"
Right.
I prefer this to the Snowflake, to be honest with you.
I have to agree with you, Thomas. I kind of prefer this to the Snowflake as well.
Well, that's because you're Yankees and it's winter. You're tired of.
It's also interesting that it has the crown in the
At 4
sort of,
o'clock.
in the traditional like Seiko 5 or normal Seiko position. So that's nice.
Very nice. I like it. I'll have to check this out some more.
Yeah, so we've had the 1815, the GMT, the Grand Seiko GMT, and we move on to a chronograph choice from Logan. And he has gone with
Hold on.
a Breitling Navitimer 01 chronograph Rattrapant in brown dial.
Wow.
For $8,000, he said this was $8,000. This one.
Mhm.
Wow.
Beautiful dial.
We're at the path for it, yeah, because yeah.
Very nice.
Me.
Go on,
Go-
5.
Go for it.
Contrast.
It does
There
indeed.
we go. Yeah, beautiful dial, that one.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had dress watch, GMT chronograph, and you can't go a collection without a diver. So finally, Logan's gone with
A Tudor.
a Tudor Black Bay 58 in at $3,000. Black dial.
A fine watch.
Great selection, Logan, that, I think.
Yeah, well done, Logan.
And he's managed to stay within budget.
Very, very nice. Lovely watch.
Yeah, really nice.
And still in a bit of demand.
Yeah, lovely watch.
All right, let me just queue up these other ones. The next 4.
So we move on to Mason 1, and he's got 3 watches, the next 3.
Are just 3 for him? Okay.
Yeah, the next 3.
Okay. Okay, so we are going to start out with the Zin.
A Zin 903 ST, which was the black dial on a bracelet, which is now
Okay.
discontinued. He said it comes in at €3,210 MSRP. This one,
Hmm.
but it's now discontinued, of course. So it'd have to go grey market, I think, on this one, Mason.
So
That is if you have the money left from the other two watches you've chosen.
so this is part of their licensed Navitimer line, right?
Correct.
I think.
Yep.
It's a
Yep.
nice watch.
It
I
is.
think it's probably available in other variants still. Nice watch.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's a very nice watch.
Well, he says even though it's discontinued, he knows where to get one new. So
Okay. So there you go.
there we go. But that's if he's got the money left over from these two choices, which are very nice and very expensive.
Right. Yeah, that is a stunner.
Beautiful. The Moser Heritage Center Seconds. Funky Blue Fume Dial. This one's coming in at 13,900 Swiss francs.
Yeah, that's a very nice one. And it's got the fully loomed numerals. So the numerals are basically applied and they're three-dimensional, right? They're really not flat. They have some thickness to them, and they're fully loomed. So you can the side is loomed, everything. It's a really, really nice watch.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Really
Mhm.
nice.
It really, really is. That's
And
stunning dial.
yeah, so something interesting is it's a lot of people see it as a pilot's watch, but it's actually based on an old series of Moser pocket watches that had the same numerals and the minutes track. So it's a very nice watch.
Yeah,
And
Paul-
no, go ahead.
Sorry, Ness. I was just going to say Paul Valliere, Mr. Valjoux, got one of these, didn't he? Yeah,
He did.
He has I think he had this one, and then he upgraded it to the one with the
the Tourbillon, yeah.
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 Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's got the same movement as the Pioneer center seconds, the automatic HMC 200, which is interesting because it's a kind of a sports watch movement. So it's very rugged. It's a very, very cool watch.
Look at those chunks of loom.
Mhm.
Wow.
No, the loom numerals just look great, don't they? They're really bold and pronounced. And
Oh, I'm back on. For those
Yes,
of
you
for those of you who are religious, God didn't answer your prayers. I just accidentally clicked the wrong button. Thanks.
One thing about this watch, there was a Carl Bucherer version that looked almost exactly the same. It was part of like their blue special edition. But one main difference is that the numerals are not loomed. So when you see one used, they used to go for a big premium because they were very rare. But I think the normal heritage version with the loomed numerals is a better choice.
Really lovely, lovely, lovely watch.
Mhm.
yeah,
And one last thing I'll add, it's the same thing as the Pioneer. Really, guys, for if you really look at it, I know I'm very biased, but if you try to look at it in an unbiased way, you're probably going to get a discount on this watch. But even without the discount, it's a lot of very high end watch for 13,900. It's really not that expensive for what you're getting.
Okay. So we'll move to now
So
the
Mason-
last one
Mason-
for Mason 1.
That's right. Yep. Mason 1's last choice was the Blanc Pan 50 fathoms.
One of my favorites.
This is quite an expensive one, though. It's coming in at $17,200. So that and the Moser just claimed the budget, I think. So I don't know whether they'd managed to get the Zin in there, Mason. But we'll let you off. It was 4 watches, but you've gone for 2 for the budget and 3 we're letting you off with.
We can let him go on that one because he's got some excellent. You don't even need the Zen, as nice as that is. If you got a 50 fathoms and a Moser,
Absolutely, I don't think you do. No,
that's that. Especially that funky blue. Just I love that watch. But this is an amazing choice, and you decided to go with it on the bracelet.
Yeah,
So
he decided to go black dial on a bracelet. Yeah,
because if you jump in the pool with it, the back will start dissolving.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous.
I'm making this up. Ask Condanes.
What did he say? What?
Oh, on the fabric strap that they supply, it started to disintegrate when he jumped in the pool.
Yep.
Interesting.
Oh, really?
That's like sailcloth, and it's backed, I think, with rubber. But
yeah, sailcloth strap.
Condanes, a Star Wars story.
Star Wars story, yes. But excellent choices, Mason one. I tip my hat to you, my friend. Excellent choices.
I mean, if this 50 fathoms is not like a special edition, you can get a discount. So I think he can get all 3 watches with his budget.
Okay, do we have time for a quick rant?
Sure.
Sure, why not?
Very quick.
Oh yeah. Hey, Jean-Claude, if you ever thought about making the mil-spec just a little bit more available, have you thought about quit making limited edition? Because that's the watch we really want.
That we really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Oh, don't go there.
Okay. You guys are English. I'm sorry. My bad.
Enough of the Spice Girls.
But yes, we want a 40 millimeter 50 fathoms. We want a 40 millimeter 50 fathoms.
Yep.
That's what everybody wants.
You guys don't like 46 millimeter?
I don't mind, and I can pull off the 45 millimeter regular 50 fathoms, but the mil spec or the Barracuda.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yep.
And I don't. I'm not.
In the Bath Escape, if you really, really, really are determined to settle. But yeah, I literally, I think if they would make the mil spec at a more available at the same price, I think a lot of people would be tempted. I would rather get the mil spec at like 13, 14, 15 than paying secondary market for a freaking sub date.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 3 more watches for the next one, Blue Shirt.
Oh, okay. I pulled up 4, so hold on. All right. So we're going to Vacheron.
Alessandro is the next
Alejandro.
Alejandro is the next
I think Thomas wants to, but you probably want to talk to him after the show.
Yeah, I want to be your lover ID guy.
This is Vacheron Constantin.
Yeah, this is Alex Spain. This one, Alejandro. He's gone for the Vacheron Constantin overseas in the blue dial.
What a beautiful watch!
£19,000. This one was. I don't know what that will be in dollars, but a little bit.
Probably close to 21,000 US, maybe more.
But beautiful watch, gorgeous. Watch. Yeah. I've tried this one on myself, and the bracelet is the best bracelet I've ever felt. It's just
okay. Vacheron overseas versus Qual de Lille, go.
Oh, as much as I like this, I'd have to go Qual de Lille.
Yeah, I think I got Qual de Lille myself.
I mean, this is I just did the exchange rate. It's 26,000.
Is it 26? Okay, wow.
But I know that in the UK things are sometimes a little bit overpriced. You do get 3 bracelets,
right?
Right.
It's a value prop for sure because you get the steel bracelet, the leather band, and a rubber strap.
Yeah, it's a nice watch. I think it depends on what your budget is and what you really, really want to spend, right? Because you can get 2-3 nice watches if you're buying the K-Delil. So it's a tough question.
Agreed. But a beautiful watch and an Alejandro, excellent choice, my friend. Excellent
Absolutely.
choice.
Yeah, great choice. Really nice watch.
Remember when people are saying, "Oh, I'd really like to get that, but I'm concerned about the resale value." Remember that?
Right.
Remember those days?
I
Yeah.
do indeed. I do indeed.
I'd say hello to
Oh,
Reviews.
hold on. Here he is.
Coming.
Welcome him in. Alejandro, welcome. I didn't see you there, my friend.
Oh, Alejandro.
I just wanted to congratulate you for the show. You know,
Thank you.
every Sunday evening is amusing. Thanks to you. So thank you so much in these difficult times here in Spain. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank
Thank you for joining us, my friend.
I wanted to show. It's in black dial, not in blue, but it's still as beautiful. You know.
Oh, look
Very
at
nice.
Gorgeous watch.
How's the weather in Spain right now?
Sorry.
How is the weather in Spain right now?
The weather. We 2 weeks ago we had a very very heavy. How do you say in English? Like snow. You know, a lot of snow. And because I'm in orthopedic surgery in traumatology, it was horrible. You know, we have to operate like 10, 12 ankles because I didn't foot and ankle, like 10, 12 ankles in one day. So it was really, really, really crowded. And the COVID situation is not improving. I've taken the vaccine, fortunately, but the population haven't. So we are still in a very heavy situation, you know.
Now, is the rain staying mainly on the plane?
Hi.
You should, yeah, you should.
But that is, Alejandro, that is such an excellent choice and a beautiful watch, man.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Really
So
nice.
thank you for it. So I'll watch you just from my computer. So very nice show, guys. See you soon.
Yep.
All right.
Lovely. We'll carry on with your choices, Alex. Thank you very much.
Thank you
care.
for the show.
Take care.
Look, ID guy made me do it. Okay.
No worries. No worries. So let's
on with Alejandro's next choice, which is the
okay. So we're going to a Zenith, correct? No, I'm sorry,
an IWC.
IWC. My apologies.
God, I'm not feeling well at all.
This one's the Portofino, which comes in at $4,700, and it's a gorgeous watch, beautiful dress watches.
Beautiful. Yeah. You know, what can you say about IWC and their dress watches? They're just classic looking.
You've recently taken a bit of a liking to the Portofino yourself, haven't you, Blue Shirt?
I have.
What kind of movement? And why is the date so far in the middle? Or did they cheap out and put in a tiny little movement with a freaking spacer?
Yeah, that's the only thing. You have to. I don't know. You have to really source one with one of their own new movements in it now.
You know, I've got to say the date window is something that people obsess a little bit too much. I think that it's placed well because you still have a part of the indice, right? And one thing I've heard a lot of people that are into in-house movements always talk about the date window. And I just like to remind people that the date wheel can be whatever size you want. And when the date is at the very, very edge, just be mindful that it could be a small movement that's not shaped to the case that just has an oversized date disc. So it's not as indicative.
How much is that? How much is that
movement? 4,000 something.
4,700.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna bitch too hard about it. Then fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it says here caliber 35-111. Now
on the other hand, ID guy is. Don't you love teeny tiny movements and big watches?
Oh, it depends. I mean, Abdul's saying that Abdul's moaning about the date again. He's saying that he doesn't like the date complications again, but says it should go without. But There's many other watches you could choose from, I suppose. If you don't like the date,
Mhm.
there's similar dress style watches, but yeah, I suppose if you don't like the date,
Yeah, I think it depends if you want the quintessential dress watch that you pick up and wind and don't have to set the date, or if you want a more practical, everyday office type of dress watch. So I think that's maybe more the latter.
Yeah, I would agree.
And you know what's really, really cool about the IWC Portofino? You can get it in almost any color
Mhm.
combination that you can dream of. So if you like a blue dial or a black dial or whatever, they make them in everything.
Yeah, they are really nice, and for the money, you really can't argue too much. And I just want to welcome our friend Rajiv. Welcome, my friend. Thanks
Hi,
for
Rajiv.
thanks
Good
for
to see you.
joining us. We appreciate it. Okay.
So the last one from Alejandro was the Zenith, Zenith Defy Classic Skeleton.
See, I'm more of a fan of the non-skeleton version there on the left, but
He said he preferred the skeleton version, which was $6,900. This one, not the skeleton, or on the bracelet, or it's $5,900 on the strap.
Well, he studies skeletons every day. I mean, he's a doctor, so I think he's entitled to a skeleton watch.
But it's a cool watch, titanium. Just it's a good classic looking sports watch.
Yeah.
And if you can get it at a decent discount, I don't think you can go wrong with it.
At one point, I remember this came out in 2017, and I was looking at that and just saying, "Oh, that is a gorgeous little watch for the money."
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh,
but
it absolutely is, and I agree with you that the titanium is really cool. But the ceramic versions, everybody that I know that has bought the ceramic version or has tried it used to think that it was just a gimmick, but they absolutely love the ceramic version.
Really?
Yep.
Really interesting.
That is one thing that I've never experienced before is a ceramic watch.
Well, lingerie is a gimmick, but I sure like it anyway.
Have you ever tried on a ceramic piece?
I thought you were going to ask Clyde if he's ever tried on lingerie.
Lingerie? Well, that was the next question.
I have. I've tried a JLC. The master compressor ceramic. The chronograph is really. It's light. It's nice. This one I haven't, but apparently the ceramic version with the rubber strap is extremely comfortable to wear. Apparently.
Okay, vintage Rolex watches. I've known actually this guy for a while. I've owned a gold Audemars Piguet in the past. They're a decent piece. Should have kept it. That's like the microphone catching the Pope saying as he's walking away from the patio, or well, there really is no God, guys. We know that, right?
Keep going.
No, that's basically it. This guy is so Rolex. Hates anything else. That's actually nice.
Well, as I think EPRFA has arrived just in time for us to see his watches.
Okay. Do we have time to answer a quick question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Logjam 2 is asking, do you think the Seamaster 300M with the flat dial will become collectible? Being it was produced for just a short period of time. So this is the previous generation with the non-wave.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting question.
It is hard to say because, Omega did pump them out like crazy, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
Hard. I mean, yeah. It's okay. It's
There is a big Omega community out there, isn't there? There are a lot of Omega fanboys who do collect Omega. So I would have thought that it would become quite collectible amongst them.
And
I
how
don't
big,
know. I don't know what sort of
and how-
prices it will reach, but I would
and how
have thought
big of a
there'd be a
deal?
market for it, yeah.
Yeah, I think though that they're as Blue Shirt said, they've made so many, right?
Yep.
It's like
Be right back. We got a Clyde stream.
it's like take the like even a Rolex sub, right? Compared to a Rolex sub, the 40 millimeter, right? They're in demand, but will they ever be crazy collectible like the classic subs, knowing that, you know, they made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousand? And Omega, that when they were selling at a pretty steep discount. I don't know. It's
a tough call. It's a tough call.
I think people will seek them out, but I don't think they'll be highly valued.
In demand, no.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there will be a demand, right? But it's like look at it like a Speedmaster, the like 1861, right? There's still demand, but they're never going to be, crazy expensive watches. They're literally like millions out there.
Right.
So.
And Megan's saying she got a Zenith ceramic with diamonds. That must
Very
be
nice.
gorgeous.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice.
All right, let me go in here.
EP
is next.
Four watches, in the next one.
So that is the Navitimer, Thomas.
Yeah, the Breitling.
Okay. All right, hold on. Just give me a second here. So he is the next 4.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, nope, not that.
Sorry.
Boom.
Bum 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 ba bum bum ba bum.
You sound a bit winded, Clyde. How is the healing going on?
Oh, what?
Are you all healed up? Are you?
Still a little bit slow.
Yeah.
Actually, wait. Let me change this. Dawn, 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 da dawn, dawn, da dawn, dawn. Yeah, sorry. It worked.
So EP's going with a Breitling Navitimer.
EPRFA has gone with the Breitling B09 reissue, and I think Clive knows about this one, don't you, Clive? This is £6,520. This one goes for, so I don't know what that'll be in dollars, but I'm sure we can work it out. But it's a beautiful watch, gorgeous watch. I love those numerals.
It's
the
enough
rancher's
for
favorite watch.
It's enough for Hotsy to shank me in the side and run off with.
Clive.
Oh no. It's not because she hates me. It's she is a pilot. She loves pilot watches. Well, actually, no. She for the 321 probably it'd be more likely a. No, yeah. Of course, I like mine on the Bund strap or distressed leather.
But this is your favorite watch, correct?
Yes. This is vintage done right. This is Breitling. Actually, not listening to their design department, not listening to their accountants, actually listening to people in the community that know and love this reference, and following what they said to the letter. This is if it was between this and an original one for the same money, I would choose this.
And it really truly is a re-edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say what's very interesting about this model is that it's contrary to what a lot of what Breitling does. This is a Navitimer that's actually a Navitimer, right? It's not like a 3-hander Navitimer or Navitimer chronograph without the scale or anything. This is the proper Navitimer.
Yep. Well, and I'm not saying she's a bad person. What I'm saying is that she really loves her chronograph watches or pilot watches.
Yeah, Breitling is overlooked, Megan. You're correct there. I think.
Absolutely, Megan.
I think if you took this, I think if you carefully, there's so much handwork in the dial. I think if you were to scrape off the Breitling logo in the wings and put literally any other brand. I think you could manufacture on Constant 10 or on a Mas Piguet or even Patek Philippe on the dial. I think, unless people really knew that brand, they would look at it and say, yep, I could really see that.
Yeah, it's I'm not the world's biggest Navitimer fan, but this watch is well done.
Yeah, me neither, Blue Shirt, but I agree with you totally there. This is the Navitimer that really takes my fancy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But again, and if you're going to get this, for freak's sake, get with Errands of Smoke with combat straps. The only thing that's let down a little bit is that the strap is a little bit basic bitch. I think it begs for like a vintage looking strap.
Yeah, so a beautiful watch. So it's had a chronograph EPRFA, and
okay. And people ask, how much are they going for? And it's just like, I haven't looked because I don't effing care.
You don't care. You got yours now, Clive.
Yep.
So he's got a chronograph in that beautiful Breitling, and he's now gone for a diver. He's gone for a budget diver, which quite a few people have opted for.
We've seen this one before.
Seen it already, yeah. With the Logan Hall went for this one, and it's the Black Bay 58 black dial.
Nice.
Yeah. What can we say? I mean, Tudor obviously has done the right thing because a lot of people are choosing this watch.
Yes.
And when you see it in person, it's an impressive watch.
It's weird that people aren't bringing up the blue one. I thought that was the only watch that existed for a while. So.
But yeah, no, they're going with the OG, the original black dial with the gilt hands and indices. So it's a nice watch. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Excellent choice.
Yep.
Yeah, really nice choice, that one. And coming on to this next choice, even nicer. Really nice choice.
Yes,
Beautiful
I agree.
For 6,550 euros, you get the Harbring 2 Felix Foudroyant Salmon Dial. Absolutely gorgeous.
Okay. Now, here is where I tip my hat to the collector.
Yep. The Felix is interesting because you can get it with a few cool complications, and I think the Foudroyant one is a very cool one.
Agreed.
But you also always want to get it for yourself, though, okay? If you give it as a gift, you have to be very, very careful the person you're giving it to doesn't have any warrants. Because you don't want to be accused of harboring a fugitive.
Right. Look at that salmon dial.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
That is, I'm not a big salmon guy, but that's cool.
You and Ving would fight to the death for this, probably.
It is just an interesting with the striations in it, the pattern. It's really nice.
Such a great price as well, I think. 6,550 euros for this. I mean,
for now,
you're really getting your money's worth, I think.
For now, they will start going up.
Yeah,
everything is going up.
What are you impressed at all with Harbring NS?
Yeah, I think it's cool that they have their in-house movements. I mean, they are based on sort of ETA, the clones of ETA architectures. I think it's a nice little boutique watch at that level, right? The finishing is not crazy.
Right, it's not going to bring the house down.
Yeah, and I think if you want a Harbring movement with amazing finishing, you can get a Kadoki, right? You can get a Kadoki 1 or 2. I think that's fine. They offer a lot of quality and features for the money you're paying, and the finishing is similar to some big names that would charge quite a bit more for this. So,
don't they also use some Harbring parts in Kadoki as well?
Yeah, it is basically a hovering movement in the Kadoki one.
Sorry, I had left the Forbin's comment up there while
And
we
you
were
know,
doing
and
that.
look, at the end of the day, Richard Hovering is a real deal watchmaker, right? So
Yes, he certainly is.
Yeah, beautiful choice, EPRFA. Great choice. Really
Yes,
nice.
and it's a husband and wife team in Austria.
Mm-hmm.
So very, very nice. Okay.
Yeah, Wonder Watches is saying apparently the customer service is second to none.
So his
Well,
last choice coming up
His last choice, yeah, we talked
is going
about.
to be a big fan. The rancher's going to be a big fan
Yeah,
of
I
this
was gonna say,
because
we
he was
talked
talking my ear off about it earlier.
exactly. We were talking about this one, Rancher. The Glasuta original Panamatic, lunar green dial.
Pano Reserve.
Yeah,
What,
this
is that a
one,
Panamatic?
the Panamatic lunar is very similar to the Pano Reserve that Clyde was talking about, except this one is automatic and it has a moon phase complication. So really nice. And one very interesting thing is the dual swan's neck regulators in those types of Glasuit original movements. And the reason why you have two is you have one for the beat errors, right? So the alignment of the pinion, and one for regulating the watch. So it's a very interesting way of implementing it.
And it's on the strap. It's £8,600, or it's £9,600 on the bracelet. We were talking about the bracelet, were we, Clive? If you want to click on that blue shirt, you might be able to bring that up. I don't know.
Yeah, he's bringing it up now. He's pulling it out, and we're all looking at it. Some of us are making disparaging comments.
Easy.
Oh no, it doesn't seem to let you bring it up.
Yeah, that's not.
No, but we talked about that on a previous stream, didn't we, Clive? The how you thought it was a Moser Pioneer, not a Moser Pioneer, a Moser Streamliner.
Yeah, you put that on a bracelet, especially in the green. There you go, son. There you go.
Really nice.
Yep.
They impressed me when I saw them in person at Watch Time New York.
You mean they stuck you on a naval ship?
No.
Okay.
And one thing that's interesting is they do come in different sizes, right? They do have an XL line. So if you want something that's larger in the 42 millimeter range, they are available like that as well.
Really nice.
But yeah, it's a bit of a stream. If you do put it on if you do see it in that bracelet, it does look like a bit of a Streamliner competitor, doesn't it? It does look very like it.
Except better. More stuff.
Yeah, more stuff going on the dial, but maybe that's what the Streamliner's going for. Maybe it's going for a simple dial look.
Well, and again, the Germans, they're like the Avis of horology. We do better. We'll give you more. We'll work harder. It's like remember the old Avis commercials where O.G. Simpson was running through an airport trying to get to the plane before they got his luggage and found the glove. Okay, yeah, that kind of like that.
And Megan is making a good point about the Streamliner. It's all about the bracelet with the Streamliner.
I don't like that brace. I mean, have I seen it? No.
But that's just subjective, isn't it? I mean, that's just opinion.
Again, I'm biased. I'm a huge Moser fan, but I think the Streamliner is more of like, it's a cushion case sport watch type of thing. This is more of a nice high-end German dress watch type of watch. And one of the things that's very interesting about this brand is there's a great interview. I forget which channel, but there's a great interview with the CEO of Glasuta Original, and their production numbers are actually fairly low, and they sell contrary to what a lot of people think, they sell very easily every year. Their watches, they don't need to send their watches to the discount mills, right? Like Joma Shop, and they're not necessarily, because they're a conglomerate brand. They're not necessarily trying to expand like crazy. So that gives them a lot of independence in what they decide to make. So it's very they have very interesting models. A few hits or misses, and they've had trouble. They've struggled a little bit in the past with their sports watches, although their new divers are fairly popular. But I think this watch is very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, Megan's fighting the corner for the Streamliner, but of course, it is a lot more, Megan. I mean, we do realise that, and we have got our glasses on, but we're just debating a bit of
I think it's apples and oranges. I don't.
I agree.
I don't think it's it's fair to compare them, especially if you go to the Streamliner chronograph. I think it's totally different league.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think they don't take anything for granted. I think they work harder. I think there's a lot of value in German watches, high horology.
So the next watches were just 2 watches for the next one.
Oh, it was only 2? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Sorry.
That's okay. No worries. We're going JJ LeCoultre.
JLC, that's right, yeah.
JJ LeCoultre.
These are James Conner Levin's choices, these ones.
Excellent. And the Master Control Perpetual Calendar.
Yeah.
Excellent choice.
37mm he opted for, the JLC Master Perpetual Steel. This is a lot of money, though. It was new. It was 19,800 euros new. And it's a lot of money.
But if you put it next to literally anything else JLC makes, you can tell it apart. I just want to throw that out there, just for what it's worth.
Well, I also think that while this is stretching the budget a little bit, I think even the brand new version of this, you are going to get if you look at even Chrono 24, right, you'll get a very hefty discount. So those perpetual calendars are cheaper than people think. And what's really, really cool about this version of the perpetual calendar, you see in the center, there's that little white window, and you'll see that the hour and minute hands have little holes in them. That's because that white window is the indicator. Is it safe to set the date mechanism or no? And they put holes they put holes in the hour and minute window, so you can always see if it's safe to set it or not.
Can they ship those guys over to Tudor for help on their chronographs? Just thinking out loud.
Well, Tudor likes its big square hands.
Oh well.
Yeah, and James Conn's gone for another beautiful watch, also discontinued in 2019, but with an extortionate price of really hitting the budget, top of the budget.
Yeah.
$27,339 dollars this one went for, so it's pretty much the full budget. But if you want to choose one of these, just click on one of these. These are the second-hand. You can see the prices vary second-hand. It was the Patek 5296 sector dial he opted for, which is a gorgeous-looking watch.
Not a fan.
I
really like it.
I'm
like it too.
I'm incredibly biased. I love sector dials. I really, really like this watch. And I'm not like a crazy Patek person, but I love this watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's well laid out, well thought out. It's different than the regular Calatrava.
But I do understand that some people will not like it at all. I think sector watches, sector dials, sorry, are hit or miss. You
Yeah,
either
they're not
love
everybody's
it,
cup of tea.
yeah, you either
Yep.
love it or hate it.
Mm.
And so one of the main objections that people have with this watch is that it looks a little bit weird for a dress watch, right? To have all of that on the dial. But to me, this is like how there used to be tons of dress watches 50, 60, 70 years ago that had that type of dial, right? Because they would make them, every watch was a dress watch, and you
Yeah,
had some
absolutely.
with these kinds of dials. So
Absolutely.
It's a dress watch trying to pretend it's a sports watch.
it's a it's a dress watch if you want to be precise about telling the time. And I'll say this, having spent a bit of time on forums and Facebook groups about watches, you do have a lot of people out there that complain that young people don't know how to tell the time on an analog watch, but they do seem to need their indices, or else they can't tell the time. So I think you have a lot of people in their 50s and 60s that may not have learned how to tell time, and that's good for them. So
I mean, and just looking at some of the comments in the chat, I mean, it just like you said, NS, it's very polarizing. There are people either really like it or just, it's a hard pass.
It's absolutely love it or hate it. And I think it's going to be the same when you go to resell this watch, right? Tons of people are going to hate it. Tons of people are going to want to buy it. So it's really polarizing.
Yeah, and James Con 11 said that with his leftover money, he would get one yellow gold link for a 36mm Royal Oak to keep it under 30k. But I think he's gone well over the budget. I think he could only afford that one Patek, to be honest with you, at new price. But we'll let you off. We'll let you off with the two, James Con.
Yeah.
So the next one, we've got 4 watches for the next one.
Okay.
Which is the last one. We had so many suggestions that we're gonna have to do part 2, I'm afraid, punters. So next week's show will be a follow-up, I believe.
Okay, just bear with me 1 second.
We've had so many choices, so many suggestions come in that we've had to do a part 1 and a part 2. So
all right, there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
So now we're going to go to
Abdul Watches, our guest we had last week.
Excellent. And he's coming up with a Bulgari.
His first choice is the Bulgari Octofinissimo GMT Chronograph Automatic, which is $16,500. This one. It's a really nice watch. It comes in a blue dial or the silver dial, grey dial, like you see. It's a GMT and a chronograph.
And what does it have, Clyde?
Complication.
I'm sorry, I'm not feeling terribly well at the moment. Sorry, I'm sitting here freezing my ass off under a blanket. Contrast.
There you go. Thank you.
Contrast.
And I mean, this is a good example of the Octofinissimo line, because this was it, right? That was the one that had the very thin movement. One of the thinnest automatic chronographs. That's the one that got that line so much buzz. So it's a very good choice.
Yeah, lovely one. That blue dial looks great, I think, with the white sub dials.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed. All right, so we will stop that one, get rid of that, and then we're going to now move on to
this next one's quite an
interesting choice.
One. Yeah, an interesting one. We don't see that often. The Armstrong Gravity Equal Force Steel.
Very interesting watch.
This comes in at 16,900 Swiss francs, or from 16,900 Swiss francs. So it goes a bit above that if you can afford it. For different options.
I feel like we've hit the budget already. have gone beyond it.
Very industrial.
Well, what
Mhm.
happens if you haven't had a head injury?
Well, it's an interesting watch. What do you think to this one, NS? Do you know much about Armstrong?
Yeah, they do have a few models. They're a little bit pricey, I found. Yeah, it's they're an interesting brand.
We got our $1.50.
I want to
Sorry about that,
say,
guys.
let me check. I want to say one of their what's that? They're the ones that made the resonance. Well, a couple of different variations on a resonance. Their first one was that very wide oval shaped watch, very expensive. And now they have a new one that's more regularly shaped. So they're kind of like I don't want to say up and coming brand, but they're getting a little bit of buzz, but some of their models are quite pricey for what you get. But interesting.
This is 16,000 from 16,900 Swiss francs.
Yeah.
So about 17 grand.
So basically, they're waiting for a producer Michael just to show up.
Do you think that they have arrived, NS, or are they still ascending, or are they?
Sorry.
I don't think they're there yet, right? Where their watches are going to be in crazy demand. I think they're trying though. But like if you look at their resonance, I'm trying to look up the price. Their resonance is like $50,000. Well, from 50,000. So they're not cheap.
Right.
But this one, if you can get it at a good price, it's a nice looking watch, nice bridge design. It's an interesting watch.
Megan's saying that she has an Armstrong, which is she says the power reserve is unbelievable. It's 72 hours, and you can buy from an AD with a decent discount. She says.
Yeah, I think their original resonance was a little bit too out there for a lot of buyers. The recent one is good. Look, they're always there at the GPHG, right? They're doing well, I think. They're a maker to look out for in the next few years, I'd say.
So the Armstrong, we'll move on from the Armstrong, and we've got another watch coming up, which is from Grand Seiko, the SBGA 211, known as the Snowflake.
I've seen this watch in person, and it's nice. It is really nice. Again, in titanium.
What a beautiful watch.
It is. It is. It's a. I know it's a sporty dress watch. If it was a little thinner, it would be like really close to perfect. But a beautiful watch and a beautiful dial.
Yeah, very interesting dial, isn't it? Mesmerizing with the pattern on it, the snowflake pattern, and that lovely blue second hand.
How do you guys feel about because this is it seems to be a bone of contention with some people, the power reserve indicator on Grand Seikos?
I don't mind it on certain ones, but I think on this one where the dial is everything, they should do like their Creedor, their latest Creedor, and just put it on the back.
I'm with NS something. I'm exactly with NS something there. Yeah, you're right.
I agree. I agree too. Like what Moser does with their power reserve indicators, stick it on the back.
Well, and Creedor, Grand Seiko does it with their Creedor, right? They put it on the back. I think you have such a nice dial here. You break it up for almost no reason. I do like it. I know it's weird, but I do like power reserve indicators on automatic watches. I think it's like a kind of cool, non-necessary complication. It's fun. But on this one, it's weird on that beautiful dial. Like I don't mind on their other spring drives that have a normal flat dial, but on this one, I think you're breaking it up for no reason.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dennis. Yeah. So Abdul's last choice was
All right, 1 second.
one that we have seen.
I see a
Ernest.
pattern here. I was just going to say I see a pattern.
Yes, Abdul's last choice is one that we've seen before. It's been a very popular choice.
And yet again, the ever popular.
Black Bay 58.
So,
Yes,
That's
the
one.
OG once again.
So let's do this. If next week is a follow-up to this show, I guess next week it's for $30,000. Which 4 watches would you get? And one of them has to be a Black Bay 58. So for $26,000 or 27, which 3 watches would you buy? No, look, it's a nice watch. We give it flack, but it's a nice watch.
It is.
You know,
It's a very nice
Yeah.
watch.
I was just thinking Creedor really passed up, in retrospect, an enormous advertising opportunity. They could have tied it. They could have tied in. They could have tied in with Game of Thrones.
You're gonna have to give us a little bit more than that, Clive.
Yeah, help us out, Clive.
Yeah, you should have to follow it up, I think, Clive.
Well, instead of the half giant saying Hodor like 50 times during every episode, he could be saying Creedor. He could have said that. Creedor sells. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's we'll give you some points for that one. Not many, but a few.
But some.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is a fine watch, and obviously a very popular choice amongst the punters.
So, Clyde, what's your thought on the Black Bay 58s? Since you're you really like vintage, Rolex from that kind of aesthetic era. So, what are your thoughts aside from the snowflake hand?
God, I hate the snowflake. Okay, I don't like the bracelet, but yeah, actually, I think if you want a good, honest watch, I think it's one of the best values out there. I think
you bought one, didn't you, Clyde?
That's what I was just going to say. Coming from the man who is the original founding member of the I Hate Snowflake Hands Club, he actually bought this watch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the blue dialed version.
Right, correct. The blue dial version.
I love this watch with the older Black Bay bracelet without the faux rivets. That would be just perfect.
Yeah, so I mean, we've reached quite a limit. We've only managed to fit in, I think, 7 people today. So we've got the same amount again to come next week. So we've got a lot of people. So thanks a lot, Michelle. That's really nice of you.
Yep. Yes. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Rivets should be authentic, like Chinese noodles.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the faux rivets, but as a former owner of the Diet Pepsi, the Tudor GMT, when you're wearing the watch, you don't even, unless you forget about the faux rivets. You don't even see them. At least I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great watch, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right, so we're coming up on an hour and 45 minutes, so I think this is probably a good time to call it here. I want to thank everybody that was in the chat. No, ID guy, this was not a marathon. It pales in comparison to your 4+ hour watch shows, but we do our best. We're trying to keep these somewhere between an hour and 2 hours every Sunday, because we know that everybody's got other things that they need to do on a Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, depending where you are. I'm sorry,
ID
go
guy,
ahead,
why don't you come on? ID guy, why don't you come on and count super chats? And we're going to run off and do a quick errand. We'll be right back. Swear to God.
Thanks a lot, Chaz. That's great.
Yes,
That's
we
really
appreciate that.
Really kind of you. Thanks.
Yep, thanks everyone for really contributing a lot this week. So thank you.
Yep. 90 knots. Good to see you. Thank you as always for dropping by, everybody. I was laughing at ID guy because I'm always telling him to take another shot. So, but
I get knocked down, I get up again, and I haven't. Sorry.
I just want to thank everyone. Abdul and Junior, Howdy from Texas, Forbin, EP, all you guys.
All the usual regulars that have dropped by. Thanks, Megan Arthur, Junie Johnson, Forbin, like everyone said, like Lucia said, EPRFA, Abdul, Mason 1, 90 knots, Chaz from the Berg, everyone that I haven't mentioned, Nick J, Michelle, Logan Hall, all the people that submitted suggestions for the stream. We couldn't have done it without you. So really good of you all.
Yeah, thank you all so very, very much. We truly appreciate it. Next week we'll do part 2. We'll keep it to like around this kind of time frame, because next weekend here in North America, it's Super Bowl Sunday, and even though there probably won't be large parties and gatherings, and I know everybody, including myself, tunes in for the pregame shows that start probably at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and run throughout the day until kickoff at 6 p.m.
right
Eastern. So we will see you again on Super Bowl Sunday at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Thanks again, everybody in the chat. We really appreciate it. Spread the word. Let your friends know. Whether you like them or hate them, let them know. And thank you, Clyde the Watch Wrangler, a.k.a. the Rancher. Thank you for joining us. NS, thank you so much. And Thomas, my friend, the YouTube Watch Channel Iron Man. Thank you. And
thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Blue Shirt Buddha, for manning the controls. We can't do it without you, my friend.
No problem. My pleasure.
Great job, as always.
All right, guys. Take care. Be well. Stay safe. And later, fellows.
Yeah, take care, everyone. See you next week.
God, I feel